Every so often, Washington passes a piece of legislation that barely makes a ripple on the evening news. But for those of us who actually practice shooting, train, and buy ammo by the case, it's a real game changer. This month, just before the 4th of July fireworks even lit up the sky, they approved one of the largest defense spending packages we've seen in over a decade. While most folks are wrapped up in the political chatter surrounding it, tucked away in those pages is something that's set to impact our local gun shops, online retailers, and shooting ranges more than anything else in that bill. I'm talking about serious investment, billions flowing straight into America's ammunition production system. If you've been eyeing ammo prices the past few years, you know the score. In 2020, a 1,000-round case of 5.56 NATO that used to cost you $400 suddenly soared past $1,000 if you could even find it. Shelves emptied, small shops were pleading for stock, and online orders were backlogged for months. Well, this new bill aims to ensure that doesn't happen again. We're talking major upgrades to plants like the Lake City Army Ammunition Plant, the same place cranking out millions of rounds that end up in civilian hands every single year. They're not just topping off military reserves, they're strengthening the whole supply network so folks like you and me can keep our magazines full without mortgaging the house. And if you think this doesn't affect civilians, you'd be mistaken. History shows otherwise. Roughly half of the small arms ammo from places like Lake City ends up in our market, meaning your next trip to the range, your hunting season, your training class, all of it just became more secure. Let's dive into the real strength behind this bill. First, there's $100 million dedicated to increasing production of 5.56 NATO and 7.62 NATO, two of the most widely used calibers worldwide. On the surface, that may seem military-focused, but if you're familiar with how Lake City Army Ammunition Plant operates, you know better. This isn't some secret facility cranking out rounds solely for the government. Lake City is a production powerhouse, churning out hundreds of millions of rounds yearly. Historically, about half of that reaches civilian hands. Hunters, competitive shooters, weekend range goers, all of us have felt the ripple effect of what they produce. This isn't new. Following the Vietnam War, when the military reduced size, many ammo plants faced a tough decision: either accept civilian contracts or shut down. Civilian sales became the lifeline that kept skilled workers employed and machinery running full steam. So when the nation called, production could boost instantly. That balance between military preparedness and civilian access has sustained our ammo ecosystem for decades. Now, add to that a massive $1 billion investment in what they're calling next-generation ammunition production facilities. This isn't just a simple update, it's a complete overhaul. Picture robotics moving brass cases down the line, climate-controlled powder rooms, automated primer seating systems, and faster caliber changeovers, so a line running 5.56 in the morning can switch to 7.62 NATO by lunch without skipping a beat. Cleaner, safer, faster. That's the kind of upgrade that boosts military output while flooding the civilian market with a steadier supply. Then there's the $2 billion Raw Materials Initiative. We're talking primers, brass, powders, the essential trio of cartridge manufacturing. The 2020 shortage highlighted that you can have all the machines in the world, but without primers, operations grind to a halt. Back then, reloaders were paying 3 to 4 times the normal prices. Brass shipments were delayed, powder orders stalled, and some plants sat idle waiting for components. This funding acts like a national ammo pantry, ensuring the supply remains robust so that the next crunch, whether due to politics, global events, or a surge in new gun owners, doesn't halt production. And yes, $10 million earmarked for workforce expansion might seem like small potatoes compared to those billions, but don't overlook it. You can't just flip a switch on an automated line and expect it to run without a hitch. You need skilled operators, maintenance teams, engineers, and quality control techs to maintain precision and solve problems on the spot. Without them, all those new machines and stocks of materials are just costly paperweights. This bill ensures the people, the tools, and the resources are all in place, so production never stops and supply lines remain open. All this investment isn't just some abstract defense readiness entry. It's going to impact the civilian market in a way we can truly notice. If you've been buying ammo in the past few years, you know how challenging it can get when the supply chain falters. One month you're grabbing a case of 9mm for $200. The next, you're staring at empty shelves and paying 40 cents a round if you're lucky enough to find it. With this bill channeling billions into machines, raw materials, and skilled labor, that feast or famine cycle starts to break. Your local mom and pop shop won't be pleading with distributors for a single case of 5.56 NATO. Your trusted online store won't be plastered with out of stock on every caliber, and instructors teaching concealed carry or rifle courses won't be scrambling to find enough rounds for students. Here's the kicker. Steady supply curbs panic buying. When folks know they can buy the same ammo next week at the same price, they quit hoarding, which means shelves remain stocked, prices stay fair, and the whole community benefits. That paves the way for more training, more range days, and more confident, capable shooters. Whether you're a fresh gun owner still learning the basics or a seasoned competitor seeking tighter groups, availability equals trigger time. Trigger time builds skill, and skill is what keeps our community safe, prepared, and ready. This whole setup isn't some brand new idea crafted in a boardroom. It's rooted in how America has kept its ammo plants going when foreign conflicts ceased. After the Vietnam War, when the military scaled back, many of our ammo facilities were on the brink. Civilian contracts weren't a nice-to-have. They were the only reason those lines stayed active, the only way skilled workers kept their jobs, and the sole thing standing between a prepared military and a cold start, if conflict reemerged. That pattern held through the Gulf War, the War on Terror, and every slowdown in between. Civilian demand kept the wheels turning so the military could ramp up quickly when needed. Fast forward to 2020, and we learned another tough lesson. The pandemic didn't just interrupt daily life. It revealed just how fragile our ammo supply chain truly was. Primers stranded overseas, brass shipments stalled, powders delayed, and factories at home idling while demand soared. That wasn't just inconvenient. It was a wake-up call. This bill is the response. Rebuild the infrastructure, secure the materials, and bring essential manufacturing back to American soil so that next time we're not waiting on a container ship to resume training. And the timing, getting this signed just ahead of Independence Day, was deliberate. For many Americans, ammo isn't just metal and powder. It's the physical symbol of preparedness, responsibility, and freedom. The freedom to train, to protect, and to remain sharp without needing permission. When half of the small arms ammo coming from government-related plants ends up with civilians, every dollar invested here resonates through our shooting ranges, hunting spots, training classes, and homes. This isn't solely about keeping the shelves stocked. It's about keeping the culture alive, the skills honed, and the next generation ready to take the helm when their time comes. So, sure, on paper, this might seem like just another line in a hefty defense budget, but for those of us who truly shoot, train, and buy ammo, it's a straightforward victory. More machines, more materials, more skilled hands on deck. That all translates to more boxes on shelves and fewer price spikes that make you hesitate about hitting the range. Whether you're a weekend hobbyist, a serious competitor, a hunter preparing for the season, or someone wanting to keep a few loaded mags for home safety, this bill is going to make a difference you can feel. And it's not just about saving a few bucks, it's about stability, preparedness, and ensuring America's ammo supply stays in American hands. That's beneficial for the military, advantageous for the civilian market, and worthwhile for every responsible gun owner who values readiness. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Stay ready.